You hear it and you see it in making you lose confidence in two important things that we use almost every day, which are the phone and the computer. Instead of watching this video, you will consider your phone and a computer as your enemy. You think I am exaggerating, but Edward Snowden period. Have you ever heard this name? Now friends who know this person will know what I'm talking about. As for those who have not heard of it before, complete with me that you have not heard of it. Correct. Today you will know who he is and what did this young man do. This young man was 29 years old when the accident occurred, and a movie was made about him in the year 2016, and he is considered among the most wanted persons in the United States of America. Overnight, this young man's picture became on every television broadcast in the world, in every newspaper, in every magazine, on every website. Overnight, he became a world celebrity. Everyone knows him. So I know now that you are asking the question in your mind, who is Snowden? And what exactly did he do? Edward Snowden is an American young man born on the 21st of June 1983 in the state of North Carolina, and over the years he moved to live with his family in the Maryland region. The strange thing is that the new place they moved in is close to the headquarters of the CIA. Edward Snowden studied computer science, but it seems that he, just like me, did not complete his education, and also did not excel in it, according to what the systems official at a tracking facility said. U.S. National Security Agency. After a while, he decided to join the U.S. Army in the year 2003, and he went through a very harsh training program to join the Special Forces to fight in Iraq, to the extent that the cost of his legs increased in training. He said, because I felt the responsibility of humanity to help liberate people from living under oppression. Of course, he was talking about what is happening in Iraq, and a strange thing that he said was this sentence. Most of the trainers in the program were eager to kill the Arabs, not to free any of them. At first, he was really excited to join the U.S. Army because he was brainwashed by the rest of the American people who believe that American wars have humanitarian and noble goals. But when he joined the training, he was shocked when he saw it and heard with his own ears that the majority of his colleagues agree and are enthusiastic only about killing Arabs and Muslims, and their goal is not humane at all. What happened is that Snowden did not complete his training because of a broken leg, but instead he participated with his colleagues in the Iraqi war. Deciding to work at an NSA facility, Ben Maryland initially worked as a security guard. Exactly a few years later, in the year 2005, he joined the CIA in the Department of Electronic Security, which became his official workplace in the year 2006 because he studied computer science and his extensive experience in that field quickly managed to get the job and ways in it, despite he didn't even get a high school diploma. But it should be noted that this is not only what helped him get the job so quickly, but even in bringing his family. For example, his father was an officer in the Coast Guard, his mother was a deputy chief in the district court in Pearl State, and his grandfather worked in the FBI. His sister works as an attorney at the Federal Judges Center in Washington. Therefore, Snowden had a feeling from a young age that one day he would work in a government position. He did not imagine what he would find, what he would know, or what he would discover during his work. Snowden did not know, this young man, that his beautiful days were close to ending, to begin a nightmare that would cause one of the largest diplomatic crises in American history. The year 2007 was sent to Switzerland in Geneva to work with a diplomatic mission of the United States of America, where he learned in Geneva about the dimensions of the work of intelligence and espionage agencies, and assumed responsibility for maintaining the security of the computer network, which gave him the ability to access a huge amount of dangerous confidential data and documents. And throughout the time he spent in Switzerland and his work in information security and his continuous and semi-permanent association with intelligence agency agents and the huge amount of information he got his hands on, Snowden began to think about what he was seeing and hearing, to the point that a lot of this data, information, secret photos and documents were coming to him in his dreams. In the year 2009, Snowden left the CIA to work as an information technician in the office of the U.S. National Security Agency at a military base in Japan, and moved in the year 2010 to a job as a program officer in the office of the National Security Agency on the island of Hawaii. Up until this point, Snowden's life had been pretty normal. Or let's say really skinny was luxurious. He lived a lavish life, working as an employee of the American government. Many young people wish for this job. His annual salary reaches $200,000, and it is a dream for many young people to reach this number, and he also owns a luxurious home on the island of Hawaii. I mean, his life was like a dream of another person or of many millions of young people. In short, useful. Within his future and the stability of his future. But Snowden was about to make the worst choice of his life. Throughout his tenure at the CIA and the National Security Agency, he has direct access to sensitive and confidential data. Snowden was able to discover terrifying things that the U.S. government is doing. He discovered that it is spying on the life of the American citizen 24 hours every day, 7 days a week over the course of his life. Find out they see you in the bathroom and watch. Also find out that they're watching you change your clothes. And this footage showed in the film how the clients were watching a girl changing her clothes and enjoying it. The misfortune is that he not only discovered, but also collected all that confidential information and documents, especially his knowledge of the PRISM spy program, which is considered the most dangerous spy program. We might dedicate an entire episode to this program alone. What do you think about it? I think the idea is interesting. If the video reaches 120,000 likes, it will be the next topic. This spyware. What is important, in short, is a program for monitoring communications, text messages, and stored information, including email messages, social media data, video and audio conversations, meaning sound and image, as well as file transfers. It targets American citizens and even citizens of other countries who are connected to the internet when his eyes were reading and viewing information. Snowden was thinking of his humanity first. He knew what was happening was wrong and it didn't have to be. He was frankly considering publishing these documents and information to the world, but as he said, I was ready to sacrifice everything I had because this espionage poses a real threat to the democracy in which we call for our country. When asked if he was afraid, Snowden said, I am not afraid of anything because this is my decision, but I am afraid that my family will be harmed. In 2013, Snowden decided to take the risk and make the greatest sacrifice of his life, which was to inform the world of the classified information of the CIA and to clear his conscience. Accordingly, in 2013, Snowden submitted a leave of absence from his work, claiming that he was ill with epilepsy and needed treatment, and epilepsy is a neurological disease in which the project is completely unconscious. The important, on the 20th of May of the same year, after obtaining the leave, he prepared and arranged everything to flee from America in preparation for throwing the secret bomb to the world. Indeed, Snowden fled from America to Hong Kong, where a journalist in the Guardian newspaper and documentary director Laura Boyle contacted me to arrange a meeting in a secret place that no one knows, specifically in a hotel in Hong Kong in June 2013. The secret information and documents were officially published to the world by the British newspaper The Guardian, for which this event was considered a historical scoop. The documents leaked by Snowden caused a global crisis and a major international conflict between the United States of America, China, and Russia, and even caused a major diplomatic crisis between America and America's allies, including many European countries, such as France, Italy, Spain, and Germany. The European Union offices in Brussels and the European Union diplomatic mission in America were also targeted. In this information and documents leaked, Snowden stated that the public telephones of American citizens and their personal computers were located around the clock without the knowledge of their owners. And the U.S. National Security Agency was able to track millions of people in the world by locating their mobile phones. The volume of recorded data stored was 27 terabytes, twice the size of the data stored in the Library of Congress, which is the largest library in the world. And all this information is collected by malicious spyware. After the news spread on all international media, of course, the news reached the Hong Kong authorities with urgent official messages from the U.S. diplomacy calling on the Hong Kong authorities to arrest him. Edward Snowden accused of high treason and leaking sensitive and confidential information that may threaten U.S. national security. Hong Kong authorities have begun examining his extradition request. Snowden fled as quickly as possible to Moscow and was able to obtain temporary residence there after 20 countries rejected his asylum application, according to WikiLeaks. Russia refused to extradite him to America due to the lack of a deportation agreement with America, so Moscow decided to extend Snowden's political asylum from the year 2017 until the year 2020. Now Snowden lives in an unknown location in Russia. In May 2015, Snowden's lawyer said that his main and only source of income was his public appearances and interviews, which sometimes exceeded $10,000 per appearance on a television channel. The Snowden story motivated film directors and writers to do their part, whether it be Hollywood films or documentaries, and the most famous film, which I advise you to watch in order to see clearly. How American agents were spying and monitoring people through computer cameras and phone cameras. This movie is titled Snowden and was released in the year 2016. The film tells exactly how Snowden published the largest spying scandal in the history of America, and also in the year 2014, a documentary film entitled Citizen 4 was released about the story of Snowden. It received overwhelming audience reviews and very satisfactory online ratings, and won an Academy Award. The only question I thought about while I was filming this episode, and I said maybe it is necessary to ask you also if you have a villa in Hawaii and $200,000 as a stable annual salary. This salary may increase to double, and of course an official job in the U.S. government and a completely stable life that does not lack any good. Will you make the sacrifice Snowden made? I really want to know your answer and put it in the comments because I read it.